And there it goes, ladies and gentlemen, a sad day in the history of, well, it's actually not a sad day because we have almost completed the whole course. That one is the last slide with actual content on it. How do you feel about that? Amazing, right? Thank you very much for staying with me. I hope you enjoyed this, but anyway, we'll come to that in a second. First, let's, still finish it. So service configuration management ensures accurate information is available when needed about services, configuration items, and their relationships. Yeah, that's quite important. Previously, it has been called service asset and configuration management in ITI version 3, but as you can see, it has also been separated, right? Before we have talked about, on the last slide, about asset management, and now we have config management. So config management is all about making sure we have an understanding of the overall picture of our infrastructure, that we understand what components we have in there and how they relate and connect to each other. And these components, they're called configuration items or CIs. A configuration item is any component that needs to be managed to deliver an IT service. Whatever it is, could be technical component, but it could also be logical component. Some companies even keep track of the skills employees have within their organization, because those are also configuration items. Like, for example, somebody has knowledge about ITIL 4, or somebody knows about DevOps, or somebody knows how to program in Java, and so on. Okay, we have CMDBs. These are configuration management databases, which are actual databases or collections of databases holding all the configuration items and their connections. So these are physical databases, not really useful to look at or not really nice to look at. And that's why we also need so-called CMSs, configuration management systems, which are technically front ends or user interfaces for the CMDBs, like all the ticketing solutions you can find out there for ticket handling, right? You have the possibility to attach assets to the tickets, and that is because they are acting as a configuration management system while they are accessing data in the underlying configuration management databases. And then our last practice. Oh, don't be sad, deployment management, we still love you. So deployment management is all about moving new or changed hardware, software, documentation, or any other component from one environment to the next. So let's say in your application environment, you have a dev environment, a test environment like a QA, and a prod environment. So anytime you have developed something on dev, you need to move it to testing, to QA for testing, then it's gonna be deployment management. And then once it's tested and everything is fine, you're gonna move it to prod. Now, if you make it available in prod for usage or not, that's a question of release management, as we have seen it on a previous slide. But the pure movement of code and configuration is the responsibility of deployment management. Yeah, so DevOps plays a huge role here actually, huh? With the help of DevOps, we can reach continuous delivery and continuous integration, where the developer builds the change in dev, which is automatically tested and moved to the next environment until it arrives in prod. Well, that can actually be amazing. You look at huge companies like Amazon, just a little example here, which is, I think it's kind of fun, huh? Amazon actually reached a technical level where they have one of the highest actually release rates in history. It's every 2.4 seconds they release some stuff into production. I mean, that's amazing. Every 2.4 seconds. I mean, I understand it's a huge platform and anything, but still, I mean, every 2.4 seconds they have something new in production. Wow. Kudos, Amazon. Oh, and by the way, I'm not paid by them, but it would be great. So what I want to say is that deployment does not equal release anymore, since we have the possibility with canary releases to separate those.